I am hiking on the Falls Creek Trail at Geist Dam. Um, a little bit in the outer edges of Indianapolis, but still in the city more or less. Um, I'm kind of learning about these state parks inside city limits, like the last one in Jackson. What was it, LaFleur's Bluff? They have a little bit different way of looking at state parks than in a lot of places. You know, at home, well, anywhere really. It's like, hey, let's call this a state park or a national park because it has like magnificent bluffs or beautiful rivers or giant waterfalls or something like that. In cities, it's kind of like somebody came along and said, hey, we got a bunch of trees over here. We can't really do anything with this. Anyone got any ideas? And somebody said, well, why don't we throw a few $1,000s at a pavilion, maybe throw up a guard shack, charge people $5 a head to get in, and call it a state park. And they're like, that's it. You're the guy. That's why you get paid the big bucks. That's why you're the idea man. But you got to keep it in context. When you live in states that have lots of majestic things everywhere, then you got a lot to choose from. But when you're in the city and you got millions of people all crammed into several square miles, any kind of green space is a good thing. And this one goes along one of their reservoirs. I'm sure it was created for water needs for the city. If I looked into it, I'm sure that's what it is. And anyway, so this trail goes down kind of along the dam and down the creek below it. And it's an area they've set aside to kind of protect. It said on the sign it was one of the only undeveloped areas in this entire floodplain. So they set aside like 112 acres to preserve it as a green space. So anyway, that's what we're checking out today. You can see the well-worn tire tracks. Well, not really tracks, but here. So I'm assuming Public Works vehicles travel this a lot for the dam. But I'm assuming it's still the trail because there's benches every so often. I will say this, it's amazing how much the trees muffle the sound of the city. You can hear a lot of birds and things down here. It is pretty. Definitely not a well-marked trail. I'm not sure that I'm actually on the trail. I'm using benches to make that assessment. Well, I didn't do my research, but all signs point to this dam was built for to meet the water needs of the city. Well, this appears to be the end of the trail, about 1.3 kilometers in, so that'd make the trail, 2.6 kilometers total, which is maybe a mile and a half? I don't know that conversion. And it appears to be out and back and not a loop. I do not see a loop anywhere. I didn't see. It's not very well marked, but it is a nice, smooth gravel trail. Only had a couple of trees down across it, but I mean, it's a nice little getaway in the middle of the city. Heading back out now. I passed this earlier, but I didn't really notice the rocks on there. I'm not sure the purpose of a fire hydrant here. Literally in the middle of nothing next to a river, but perhaps they've planned for future development. But that's pretty cool. Whoever did that. Come on, focus. There we go. Well, we'll go ahead and put a wrap up on here just in case I do post this. I'm kind of getting cabin fever, pent up with nothing to do up here in Indianapolis. But that was short, yeah. That's maybe a 40-minute hike. The only real elevation gain is coming off of the spillway of the dam and back up it. Honest review, not much to see. It's nice, it's tranquil, it's peaceful if that's what you're after. It's not a lot of photographic opportunities or anything like that. I was going to try to get down to the dam on the bottom side and see if I could get some pictures or something. That would have been interesting. But I could not do that without breaking the law. So that's fenced off. And all in all, it's a smooth, well-maintained, maybe mile and a half long out and back little trip. And good on Indianapolis for putting together stuff like this wherever they can. We made a good use of the space for these city dwellers to come and get out of all the noise. So yeah, Anyway, that's pretty cool. If you like the video, if I post it, like and subscribe, and I would appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.
We here at Studio 119 would like to remind all of you out there listening, wherever you might be, that though the hill might be steep and the trail be rocky, the mountaintop awaits. Carry on.